Welcome to Raynham Hall, a place where beauty hides a chilling secret. Nestled in the quiet countryside of Norfolk, England, this 17th century mansion is more than a historic landmark. It's one of the most haunted places in the world. Tonight, we dive into the legend of the Brown Lady, a ghost whose story of betrayal and tragedy has terrified generations. Her name? Lady Dorothy Walpole. And her tale begins with a life that ended far too soon. Dorothy Walpole was born in 1686 into a powerful family. Her brother, Robert Walpole, would become Britain's first Prime Minister, but Dorothy's life took a darker path. In 1713, at 27, she married Charles Townshend, the second Viscount Townshend. Charles was a man of influence, a politician and innovator, but he had a temper that could turn violent. Their marriage was rocky, filled with tension. Then came the rumours. Whispers spread that Dorothy had been unfaithful with Lord Wharton, a man known for his scandalous ways. When Charles heard these accusations, his anger erupted. He locked Dorothy away in her rooms at Raynham Hall, cutting her off from the world. Some say she was confined to a single chamber, others that she could wander parts of the hall but never leave. But there's another side to this story. Mary Wortley Montague, a friend from that time, claimed Dorothy wasn't guilty. She suggested the Countess of Wharton set Dorothy up, weaving a trap out of jealousy or spite. If true, Dorothy was a victim, betrayed by those around her. Either way, her punishment was cruel. Locked away, Dorothy's spirit broke. In 1726, she fell ill with smallpox, a disease that killed many in those days. At just 40 years old, she died, her life snuffed out in the very place where she was imprisoned. But death wasn't the end for Dorothy. Her story was just beginning. After her death, strange things started happening at Raynham Hall. Servants whispered of a figure in a brown dress gliding through the halls at night. They called her the Brown Lady, and her presence brought fear to everyone who lived here. Was it Dorothy, unable to rest after her tragic fate? Was she angry, sorrowful, or something more sinister? Raynham Hall is no ordinary place. Built in the 1600s, it's a maze of grand rooms, hidden passages, and secrets. On quiet nights, you might hear footsteps in empty corridors or feel a cold breath on your neck. And if you're unlucky, you might see her, the Brown Lady, her brown brocade dress rustling, her face glowing with an eerie light, her eyes gone, replaced by dark, empty sockets. This isn't just a ghost story. It's a tale of pain and unrest, of a woman whose spirit refuses to fade. To understand the terror of the Brown Lady, we need to hear from those who saw her. Encounters that turned skeptics into believers and left Raynham Hall forever changed. It's Christmas 1835, and Raynham Hall is alive with celebration. Guests laugh. Music plays, and the scent of roasted chestnuts fills the air. But beneath the festive glow, something dark stirs. The Brown Lady is about to make her presence known. Colonel Loftus, a brave military man, was a guest at the hall. One night, as he headed to his room, he froze. There, in the flickering candlelight, stood a woman in a brown dress. Her form shimmered, almost translucent, and her face glowed unnaturally. But what chilled him to the bone were her eyes, or lack of them. Where eyes should have been, there were only black, hollow sockets, staring into the void. Terrified, Colonel Loftus watched as the figure turned and glided away, vanishing into the darkness. He wasn't imagining things. Soon others came forward with similar stories. Servants saw the same woman on the grand staircase, her dress rustling as she moved. Guests reported hearing footsteps in empty rooms or feeling an icy presence brush past them. The fear spread like wildfire. Raynham Hall, once a place of grandeur, became a house of dread. Several staff members, too scared to stay, packed their bags and left, never to return. The brown lady was no longer a rumor. She was real, and she was terrifying. But not everyone believed the tales. In 1836, Captain Frederick Marryat, a famous writer and friend of Charles Dickens, came to Raynham Hall to prove the ghost was a myth. Marryat was a skeptic, a man of reason. He stayed in the room where the ghost was said to appear, keeping a loaded revolver under his pillow, just in case. For 2 nights, nothing happened. Marryat thought the stories were nonsense. But on the 3rd night, everything changed. As he walked the corridors with a lantern, he saw her, the brown lady, holding a glowing lamp, her face twisted in a grin that was both sad and menacing. In a panic, Marryat fired his revolver. The bullet shot through the air and hit the door opposite. But the brown lady simply faded away, leaving nothing behind but a bullet hole and Marryat's shattered nerves. He left the hall the next day, never to return. His story, later shared by his daughter Florence, became a key part of the brown lady's legend. Decades later, in 1926, another sighting deepened the mystery. Lady Townshend, the hall's owner, said her son and a friend saw the brown lady right here, on this staircase. What made this encounter so eerie was that the ghost looked exactly like a portrait of Dorothy Walpole hanging in the hall. It was as if Dorothy had stepped out of the painting, her spirit forever tied to this place. These stories built the legend of a ghost who wouldn't rest. But it was an event in 1936 that would make the brown lady a global sensation, an event that gave us a glimpse of her, frozen in time. The terror isn't over yet. The most haunting part is still to come. September 19th, 1936. A day that changed the world of the paranormal forever. 2 photographers, Captain Hubert C. Provand and Indra Shearer, came to Raynham Hall for a simple job, to capture its beauty for Country Life magazine. They had no idea they were about to capture something far more chilling. It was late afternoon when they positioned their camera on this staircase. They'd already taken 1 photo when Shearer, peering through the viewfinder, saw something strange. A mist was forming on the stairs, slowly shaping into a woman in a brown dress, moving down towards them. "Take the shot," Shearer shouted. Provand, hands shaking, removed the lens cap, and Shearer triggered the flash. The camera clicked, capturing a moment that would haunt the world. When the negative was developed, it showed a blurry, ghostly figure descending the stairs, dressed in brown, her form both human and otherworldly. This image, published in Country Life on December 26, 1936, was called the most valuable ghost photo ever taken. It spread like wildfire, appearing in Life magazine on January 4, 1937, and captivating people worldwide. For many, it was proof that the brown lady was real. But not everyone agreed. Some said the photo was a trick, a double exposure, where 2 images were accidentally combined. Others thought grease on the lens or a statue's image created the effect. A few even claimed the figure looked like a Virgin Mary statue, not a ghost. But those who saw it in person told a different story. Harry Price, a famous paranormal investigator, interviewed Provand and Shearer. He was impressed by their honesty, saying, "I could not shake their story." Price believed the photograph was genuine, a rare glimpse into the supernatural. Whether you believe it or not, the image remains one of the most iconic in ghost hunting history. Today, Raynham Hall is still home to the Townshend family, who rarely speak of the brown lady. But the stories persist. Visitors report hearing strange noises, whispers, footsteps, or doors creaking open. Some feel a cold presence or see shadows moving in the corners. Is Dorothy Walpole still here, her spirit trapped in the place where she suffered? As I stand on this staircase, I can't shake the feeling that I'm not alone. The air is heavy, the silence too loud. Is she watching us right now, her empty eyes fixed on us from the shadows? The Brown Lady's story isn't just a legend. It's a mystery that refuses to be solved. Raynham Hall holds its secrets tightly, blending history with horror. Whether the Brown Lady is real or a product of fear and imagination, her tale has gripped us for centuries. If you ever visit Norfolk, you might feel her presence, a glimpse of brown in the dark. Some spirits never leave. Some stories never end.